Hello Buffalo, welcome to the DJ Starr Show. I am your host, DJ Starr. Today we have a fabulous guest for you all. This is Tifani, the rhythm and soul diva from Buffalo, New York. Stay tuned, don't turn that dial. We'll be right back with you.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Hey Buffalo, welcome back to the DJ Starr Show. Today's guest, we have Tifani, the rhythm and soul diva. Hey girl, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'm just happy to be here.
And I love the look, girl.
Thank
I
you.
love the
Thank
artsy
you.
look. I love it. I love it.
Shout out to my glam squad.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have a
Who's
glam
your
squad. Lonnie Thompson, and she's the image consultant.
Oh,
And the makeup
great.
artist will be Valerie.
Good job. Real pretty. Real
Thank
pretty.
you.
Okay, talk about your humble beginning. How you got started in the business?
Well, as a child, I've always loved music.
Uh-huh.
My family is musical on my dad's side. My dad sings. My brother loves hip hop and rap, and I always grew up listening to music, so I've always loved to sing and dance.
Awesome.
In fact, I remember my mom had a recording when I was 3 years old. She threw me a backyard party, and all the kids were playing on the slides and doing kid stuff.
Right.
And of course, I'm the only one. She caught me. I was holding something, emulating a microphone in my hand, and singing one of the 90s tunes that was on there, and like lip singing and dancing in my own little world at my birthday party where everybody else was being kids and having fun. And I just love music. But it wasn't until I was 8 years old and I just mustered up the gumption to come to my mom and say, I want to lead a song for the choir.
Okay.
I always sang in the choir, background.
Yep.
Just sang in the choir at my dad's church. But this time I wanted to lead a song. So my mom wasn't aware that I sing or even wanted to sing. So she's like, yeah, you got to audition for me first. You're not embarrassing me. She's not one of those parents that's going to say, that's my baby.
She the first leader too? She's like, oh no.
Yeah, you either can or you can't. And if I couldn't sing, she was going to tell me and crush that dream real fast. So she had to make sure that I was not going to embarrass myself or her. So I auditioned for my mom, got the approval, and then she taught me, Help Me Lift Jesus. And
how does that song go, by the way?
Help me lift Jesus. Come on, will you help me lift Jesus? I need somebody. Help me lift Jesus to help me lift Jesus. Help me lift Jesus.
That's great.
Yes, that's one of my favorite songs still to this day.
Girl.
So she taught me that song. I learned it. Once I learned the song, we presented it to the organist and got his stamped approval, my dad's approval, and I sung that song every time. They kept making me sing that song too.
Did they? I bet they did. The first thing, like, girl, you sound great.
All right, I'm like, I wanted to do this. I don't know if I would keep doing it. I was scared too. Very shy when I was a kid. Just shy about singing in front of people.
Okay.
But still had it in me and loved doing it.
And doesn't God use our weaknesses
for
His glory? Isn't that something else?
He does. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the gift. Can't thank him enough.
Oh my God. So I know at 17 years old you wrote your first song. So what was the song? And how did you come across that song?
Well,
what song was it?
It was called You Got Me.
You Got Me.
And it meant like, ha ha, you got me. You got away this time. And it was it was inspired by a terrible boyfriend I had in high school. And I was called myself misunderstood. And, this is before all the Tifani. Tifani didn't exist at the time. So misunderstood. And I wrote this song and I performed it probably when I was 18, but how did it go? It was like, you got me foolish, you broke my heart, abused it, finally. I forgot this. Finally, something. I'm sorry, I forgot the lyrics that fast. Okay. I gotta think of it. But yeah, that song was inspired by heartbreak. I've written a lot of songs based on heartbreak and life experiences, my friends experiencing heartbreaks and whatever I can get from them or anything of my own experience. Then I just write what's on my heart, what's on my.
Now, do you think when you're writing music that from life, experiences from yourself or others as well, do you feel that your fans really connect with you when you write music like that?
Yeah.
They can, that was me, girl. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they definitely appreciate transparency. You do have to put yourself it's like an out of body experience, right? Because you're telling all your business. So it's either you're gonna do it, and do it without shame, right? Or don't do it. So once I've written a few songs like that, and sometimes I do have to think do I really want people to hear this? But I mean, to get to know me, you have to know me and what I've experienced, because you never know, my experience might be the same as yours.
That's true.
And you may not know how to say what you've been through, so I can say it for you, and you can relate, and we can relate in that way.
So you're the voice for others.
I would like to think so. Yeah. You
definitely are. That's amazing. So talk about some of your other music. Like I know, for example, you have a song called Leaving. And I think that song pretty much had a lot of hits and stuff like that. So talk about that song a little bit for us.
The funny thing about Leaving, I had a friend, producer friend, James Bowman. Okay. He called me. He had an opportunity to do, present music to a film writer and director in California. It was one of those B-grade movies. So he asked me, he said, hey, could you write a song to go for this movie? It's about a football player who was with a high school sweetheart, and she was with him before he became a football star. And then he became a football star, and he changed on her, and she got fed up with him, and she decided to leave. At first I was like, this is so cheesy. I don't even like the movie. I get it, but you hear that story so many times that I didn't really want to do it. But I'm like, I'll try it. He asked me to do it. Okay, I'll do it. And even when I wrote the song, I didn't even like it. I was just like, first of all, this sounds. It actually was a similar. I've experienced something like that before.
Oh, you have?
I have. Okay. So, and then I'm like, I really didn't want to write about it. I've heard so many songs like this. I just don't want to do it. But I'm like, let me just try it. So then I recorded it. Once we recorded everything, I don't know what happened. I guess she didn't get back in touch with him. So now I have this song, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this song? This song was just for a project, and now I just have it. And my friends and people in my music circle was listening to it. It was like, this song's really good.
It is.
And I'm like, think it's that good? So I'm listening to it, I'm like, okay, it's okay. And then I performed it a couple times and got a really big response from it. So people started to like it, and then when they're liking it, made me like it even more.
That's right.
So I'm like, well, let me just take this to another level. And I shot a video for it, towards the end of the summer, and I'm looking to release that summer of 2015. Do a big release for it.
Is there a sample they can go see, a sample video that
No, it's in the editing stages right now.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So,
okay, you
but they can always hear the music on Reverb Nation, or they can hear it on my CDs,
which is right here.
Yes, yes, I have a demo of my song.
First song's right here, so go get the CD, everybody.
Yes, definitely come. You can get that CD by contacting me or coming to Jamie's Emporium and getting the CDs.
Excellent, girl. You're doing good things. Good things. Now, what do you like least or like about being in the music business as a woman, per se?
What I like least?
And like about it.
What I like about the music industry is that it's much easier now to be discovered. Because you have YouTube, you have Instagram and Twitter, you have direct
social media is a good
social media. The platform of social media has broadened so much to where you can do a 15-second video and get all these shares and likes, and people can hear you, and then you can create a pathway for somebody to find you. So it wasn't that easy in the 90s, I'm sure. But now it's like with the internet, anything is possible. So that's what I do like, and I can appreciate that.
Good.
As far as what I don't like, is I don't have a lot of dislikes because the music industry is where I want to be. So I just wish that it wasn't so much based on popularity and it was based on real music. It's a lot of, you know, stuff that we hear on the radio and it's mainly negative. I wish that the negative lyrics and the negative music wasn't glorified as much because that person might have 100,000 or 100 million followers and they get a record deal or they get to be heard when there's other people whose music has more substance.
That's true.
But maybe not as many followers. So wherever there's a pro, there's always a con.
That's true.
So even though the internet is like, that's a good thing, you can get discovered here, but it's also like, yeah, but then anybody can get discovered versus the right people. So that's the only thing I can say.
Okay, well thanks for that. We're going to take a break and come right back with your girl Tifani. Stay tuned.
You say you'd give your right arm to be there for your family? Here's your chance to prove it. Have your blood pressure checked and control it to lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
Hey Buffalo, you are now tuned in to the DJ Starr Show featuring me, Tifani, the Rhythm and Soul Diva. Make sure you tune in to the DJ Starr Show every Friday night at 10 p.m. on Time Warner Cable, Channel 20. Peace.
I'm just gonna tell my kid that if he ever tries it, I'll kill him, okay?
That's sensitive, Al.
If you need help talking to your kids about drugs, call for this free book.
Welcome back to the DJ Starr Show. If you just tuned in, you are looking at Tifani, the Rhythm and Soul Diva of Buffalo, New York, and welcome back, Tifani.
I love your introductions.
Thank you.
They make it feel so special. The Rhythm and Soul Diva.
You're welcome. Okay, so before the break, Tifani, we were talking about the music business.
Right.
And we were talking about some of the good pros and cons of being in the business. And you mentioned, you know, social media, how that has been a great connection to our upcoming artists. Now, talk about more of the negative side on how women are being portrayed in the media.
As far as women being portrayed, I believe that there is always, you're always given a choice.
Yes.
And if you want to be the type of woman in the industry to every time you see her, she's naked or the sex sells and, you know, talking about sex and inappropriate and negative stuff, that's always a choice. I don't think that has anything to do with the music business itself. Like, yes, it's glorified, but nobody is forced to do anything. And I say that because, just for an example, I was watching Behind the Music a long time ago. Okay. I was watching Pink.
Oh, okay.
Who is a phenomenal pop artist. And her story was just so touching and relative. She was given an opportunity to sign with one label first. And they like, we want to sign you, but we want you to look like this and sound like this and everything that she doesn't represent and that she's not. Right. Now, she could have easily took that and, you know, went with the glitter and the glisten and this is, you know, you're going to be a star if you do this. Right. Or she could have stayed true to herself, which she did. And she went with option number 2 with a different label, and they allow her to be expressive and still be herself. She's edgy. She's still a rock, pop girl. Like, it's people like her that let you know it's still hope. I mean, look at NDRE and Jill Scott. Like, they don't
women, yes.
They don't have to show their behind and be portrayed negatively.
That's right.
And they're still there in the industry. You know, then you have others who get signed and they completely transform physically, and then they talk crazy, and yes, people do like that, but I think everybody is given a choice. I'm not a big fan of the music that belittle women. I just don't listen to it. I don't listen to that kind of music. I don't.
Why do you think that the public wants those type of songs from different, artists? Why do you think that's so popular though? When you hear about the, women being portrayed as, hoes and bees and all that, why do you think that sells?
I don't know. It's almost like a lot of people just can be brainwashed, or if you don't have a mind of your own, right. You just chasing popularity, and they like it, so I like it. I mean, okay. Sometimes I ask people, like, why do you like this song, and you don't even understand what he's saying.
That is so
I
true.
can't listen to music if I don't know. And it's a lot of rap out here that they
right.
saying something, but you don't know. It's like, I don't even
right.
know we speaking English. Like, I cannot make out the words. So but that's just me. I'm real technical when it comes to music. Mm-hmm. I'm a writer first. So if your lyrics alone, forget a beat in production. Like, if your lyrics alone don't grab me, I can't listen to it. If it does, if your words don't have substance to it, right. then I can't listen to it. So if I don't know what you're saying, you lost me. But that percentage of me is this big in the world that's like, we just like the beat. I can
right.
dance to this, I could twerk to this, so I like this song.
So we're saying basically overall, it's not so much the lyrics that they're really listening to, it's the beat you talking about.
A lot of times they just like the music and they can dance. Anything right. that's catchy.
Yep.
I mean, just for example, like Bobby Shmurda, I mean, the song that he came out with, everybody loved that song. Mm-hmm. And now I guess he's being indicted, or he's being brought up on charges because mm-hmm. he was talking about criminal activities in the song that I guess are true, mm-hmm. apparently, what the media is saying. So everybody is happy and praising this song, and he really
right.
talking about killing somebody like a week ago. Right. So mm-hmm. I don't know how people do that. I have no idea what it's come to. I just know that I respect those that are true to themselves.
Right.
And when you're true to yourself, you know how to make a decision. And you can choose right. Wherever there's right, there is going to be wrong. And that's just the world we live in. And you have a choice to pick side A or side B.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. You mentioned earlier some musical icons such as Jill Scott and NDRE. I know you have some favorites. And those two are one of your favorites as well. So out of your 6 favorites, who's your best?
I would probably have to say Jill Scott.
Jill Scott.
She is my favorite. I have to say that she definitely inspired my sound. She inspired my drive. I remember when I was 18 and mm-hmm. the first time I moved to Atlanta,
okay.
My sister had this CD and it said, "Who is Jill Scott?" That was the name of the album. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to know, well, who is she? And I listened to it, and when I like stuff, I play it out. Like, I played that CD every day. And I'm like, wow, she's really dope. I love this lady. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when I do my shows, mm-hmm. almost every show that I've done or that I do, I pick at least one Jill Scott song to sing. Oh, just good. One. Mm-hmm. Okay. And one day I'm gonna meet her.
Yeah. Okay. Speak it. That's right.
Definitely. I love her as an actress. I like seeing her on TV. She mm-hmm. speaks very well, and she's a great writer.
Yes, she is.
And of course, there's many before her that I love and that really inspired my ear and my love.
Because you also mentioned Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh yeah,
and Billie Holiday
I love them.
Was on your list of
Billie Holiday.
Artists.
And I can't forget, even when I was much younger, I mm-hmm. loved TLC.
Oh, me too.
Loved them to death.
Oh, me too.
My mom brought me their tape.
Did she?
Bought me their tape when I was a child, and I listened to it. I mean, they talk about friends and self-esteem. Yeah. And don't go chasing waterfalls, like all that spoke to me as a child. And I remember my mom took me to my very first concert to see them, and it was at Darien Lake. And we outside, and they had the seating on the ground. Well, the nosebleed section was the field or the grass. We were in that section, but I didn't have any complaints. I didn't care where I was sitting at. They were this big. Because that's how far. But I was like, I'm just happy to be here and hear them live. That was something I took with me, and I was very appreciative to my mom for even letting me experience that. So I think TLC played a good role in just self-esteem period, and just for the love of music. But yeah, as far as being a writer and me deciding this is what I want to do, I would say Jill Scott. Probably.
Jill Scott?
Yeah, she influenced that.
Influence. I like NDRA too. NDRA has a neo soul flair and flavor as well.
And when I was like 16 in high school, and I would listen to her every day, a lot of my friends just be like, "Why do you listen to that? That is so old, like that's corny." And I'm like, "You don't understand." Oh yeah, what? They wanted.
Wow. They didn't like NDRA.
I'm not gonna say they didn't like it. It's just I was 16 listening to neo soul music instead of other, instead of the more popular mainstream.
Right.
Although I really do listen to everything. I listen to gospel, country, pop. I listen to hip hop for sure, real hip hop.
Okay.
It's just I listen to that too. So whenever I did listen to something that wasn't everything that everybody else was listening to, they be like,
"What are you doing? What are you doing tonight?"
Yeah, but I laugh. I do the dishes and clean up the house, and you hear NDRE, and my friends that would be at the house be like, "Could you change the CD?"
Okay, hold that thought right there. Take a break, and we will come back with Tifani, the Rhythm and Soul Diva. Stay tuned.
Do you see a study group? Then you see the power of community coalitions. They help community groups fight to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org, where you and your group can learn more about community coalitions.
If you're just tuning in to the DJ Starr Show, we are featuring Tifani, the Rhythm and Soul Diva of Buffalo, New York. Welcome back, girl.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, talk about how you balance motherhood with being an entertainer.
I just do it. I always make sure I have time to, when I rehearse and I'm doing music or whatever that's contributed to my business. I make sure I make time to read to my daughter, feed her, talk to her, play with her, love her, and raise her.
How old is she?
She's 1.5.
She's 1.5 years old. And talk about the dream you told me about.
Oh, the dream. My favorite dream. I was in Atlanta and, went to Atlanta to pursue music and career driven and all that good stuff. And her father would come and visit me while I was there. And then 2 weeks before like Thanksgiving, I had a dream that I was holding this beautiful baby, wrapped in this pink blanket. Wow. And she was smiling and she was happy and I was happy in this dream, and then I would come home and people would say, "Tiff, why you tell us you had a baby?" And I was like, "I didn't know." She just came here. Right. She showed up and made me happy. So I woke up from the dream and I thought it was funny. I called her dad, I called my mom, tell them the dream. We all having a good laugh about it, told my sister, had a good laugh. Okay. So, and that was that after that. And then Thanksgiving came, and when I was in Atlanta, I was like eating really clean and just working on my body and everything. And so Thanksgiving came, I thought this was the time to treat myself. I'm gonna eat some food I ain't had in a long time, and I got sick. So I thought I was sick because I'm eating food that I don't normally eat. So I'm like, oh man, it was the worst feeling ever. And my mom asked me, "Well, you think you're pregnant?" Of course I get on. No, of course not. I can't be pregnant. Just, I don't eat this stuff. Right. So I get back to Atlanta and something just told me, well, why don't you just double check? I go to get the Walmart pregnancy test, and in my eyes, the pregnancy test did not say positive. I was completely delusional, and I come out laughing to my sister. See, I told you I wasn't pregnant. Throw the test in the garbage. Seconds later, a voice said, "Look at it again." So I took this test out the garbage, and I'm looking at it. I'm scratching my head, and I go to my sister like, "Please tell me, what do this say? Like, do you see what I see?" And she looked, that's positive. No sympathy in her voice. She think it's cute. Like, and I'm like, I'm hysterical. I'm breaking down. This happened to me. You're right. And this, everybody knows that Tifani does not do kids. Right. None of this. This is not what I'm about. This did not just happen to me. So I'm like, no, this is not real. it say positive, but this was also like $2 and some change, so this didn't work. I have to go to a clinic or something. So I went to an abortion clinic because they give you that test. So I went to the abortion clinic, and I'm taking the test with the intentions to make an appointment for an abortion. And the girl was standing there. She took the test, and of course, before like she reads the test and looked at me, laughed like, "Oh, you are 100% pregnant, and you want to see me?"
And I were like, "What the heck?"
First of all, why is everybody laughing? Because I'm the only one that thinks it's not funny. But everybody else like, "Oh yes, you are." So she's like, "You want to see it?" And I was like, "No, please don't show me. I can't do this." So, you know, I walk up to the desk, and it's all these people, these women just ready to abort a baby. You know, they chilling. And I get to the counter, I can't breathe, I can't stand up straight, and I'm crying. Everybody looking at me crazy like,
so
do you know
was
where
your
you are?
main thought was to abort your child? So what was that?
Was that my thought?
Your first thought was to abort it?
Of course, that was my thought. That's what I thought I wanted to do.
Right. Okay.
That's what I thought I had to do.
Right. But then you said, "Oh, wait a minute. This may not be a good idea."
Well, see, the thing is, you know, I'm Christian. I don't believe in abortion, and because I was there on a mission to do one thing, I felt like this is the wrong time to have a child. And in order for me to succeed in my career, I can't have this child. But of course, in my heart was saying something totally opposite. I didn't feel that. That's why I was crying. Because if it was that easy, I just would have made the appointment and left out.
So to fast forward, so basically what you chose to do was have your baby.
Of course.
And that little voice that was nudging at you was telling you, "No, this is a blessing from God. You
definitely." And he don't make mistakes.
He don't make mistakes.
And once I got over myself, because it's way more. It ain't about me. It wasn't about me to begin with. And once I got over myself, you know, I accepted it, and I let everybody know, you know, I'm having a girl, and her name will be Song.
Her name is Song. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And she's 1.5 years old. You said it right.
Yep.
And she's the bun of your world.
Oh yeah.
She is your.
And she really has the perfect name because she has a really loud voice that carries, very high, and
she gonna be a singer like
powerful. You know what? That would
she
be
gonna
nice.
be a singer.
I wouldn't push it on her, but if that's what she decides to do, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I can hear her before I can see her. She hums all the time. My mom called her little hummingbird.
That is fascinating. Oh my God. So she's a blessing to you.
Yeah.
All right. So where can we get your CD?
You can get my CD at Jamie's Emporium Boutique.
All right.
You can also see me. Email me. You can follow me.
What's your email address?
My booking email is bookingtifani, that's Tifani, at gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook. You can like my fan page at Tifani the Rhythm and Soul Diva. Instagram, Twitter is also Tifani Soul Diva. And that's how you get, and I also have a website, www.tiffanymusic.com and reverbnation.com/Tifani. It's all consistent. It's very easy to find me.
Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Put Christ first in everything you do. God bless.